Carnivora, the Winged Scavenger. Prologue. Contents. Chapter 1 Journey through the Ice. Chapter 2 The Frozen Lake. Chapter 3 The Final Portal. Chapter 4 Battle against the Beast. Chapter 5 Many Friends. Chapter 6 Attack on the Castle. Chapter 7 Unexpected Help. Chapter 8 Facing Malvel. Chapter 9 Through the Portal. Chapter 10 Home to Avansha. If you like this, you'll love. Prologue. Tobias narrowed his eyes against the icy wind as he trudged across the frozen fields of Tavania towards his ice lodge. Behind him, he dragged the sack of fish he'd just caught. The rope cut into his hands, even through his thick leather mittens. It was a good catch, he thought. If I can sell all the fish in the market, I'll have enough money to last me through this dreadful season. Pausing to rest, Tobias looked up at the domed sky of Tavania. He was sure it was hanging lower than it once did. Worse than that, a dark rip stretched across it, from above his head almost to the horizon. Its edges looked like tattered shreds of cloud, and beyond them was a menacing, dark portal. Tobias couldn't imagine where it might lead. It gives me the creeps, he muttered. And I'm not the only one, either. The last time he had visited the market, all talk had been of the dreadful split in the sky. Is this the end of Tavania? People were asking each other. At his shoulder, Carway let out another growl. Tobias spun round to see the hyena cubs jumping onto his sack, trying to tear it apart with their tiny teeth. Hey, stop that, he shouted. He shook the rope angrily, trying to force the cubs to let go. But they were surprisingly strong, clinging to the sack. With needle-sharp teeth and claws, Carway snarled at the cubs as Tobias pulled the sack closer towards him. When he could lift it, he used all his strength to swing it round. He staggered, growing dizzy, as the cubs lost their grip and were flung off in all directions. They landed in the snow with high-pitched yelps of fury. Come on, Carway, chase them off, Tobias called. But instead of leaping after the hyena cubs, the Arctic fox froze at the sound of a low, mournful howling on the air. Carway, what equals Tobias broke off as a blast of heat rolled across his back. It scorched his thick fur coat and the back of his neck. With a yell of pain, Tobias fell in the snow. He rolled over to cool the heat on his back. His eyes stretched wide as he looked up at the most hideous creature he had ever seen. A giant hyena hovered above him. Its eyes were yellow as pus. It circled menacingly above Tobias on broad wings jutting from its muscular shoulders. Drawing spiny teeth back in a snarl, it lunged at Tobias and breathed a foul gust of air into his face. He gagged at the putrid stench. The air grew misty as the creature's breath swirled, sparks springing up inside the cloud. The fiery mist hovered in front of him, then faded. Scrambling backwards, Tobias managed to struggle to his feet. Run, Carway, he yelled as he fled towards the lake. Behind him he heard the excited grunts of the young hyenas as they chased him through the snow. They must be that monster's young, he thought in a panic. What am I going to do? His feet skidded on ice as he ran out onto the frozen surface of the lake, but he managed to keep his balance. Darkness swept over him as the monster's shadow covered him. The hyena swooped down upon Tobias, and the air grew misty again, filled with thousands of tiny sparks. Too late, Tobias heard the ice underfoot begin to crumble under the wave of heat. Jagged cracks ran across the surface. Tobias slipped as the ice tilted beneath him. With a yell of terror he plunged into the freezing water of the lake. Cold stabbed him like the points of a million swords. Flailing in confusion, he turned over and over. I'll die here, he thought as he choked on the icy water, and no one will ever find my body. Chapter 1 Journey through the ice. Tom shivered, blowing on his hands and rubbing them together. I don't think I've ever been so cold, he exclaimed. I know, Elena replied, stamping her feet on the frozen ground. She shielded her face from the vicious, freezing wind that swept across the plain. I can't feel my toes. 3 days and nights had passed since Tom and Elena had sent Alec home through the portal in the misty jungle. Now their beast quest had led them to the northern wastelands of Tavania, the last place they would visit in this kingdom to conquer a final beast. As they stopped to rest and share some bread and cheese from Storm's saddlebag, Tom gazed out across the icy terrain ahead. Snow stung his cheeks and he screwed up his eyes against the freezing blast. The north of Avansha is just as cold as this, Tom said, trying to forget how tired he felt. Elena nodded. It's going to get colder, the further north we go. Well, we can't turn back, Tom said decisively. He delved into Storm's saddlebag and took out the golden map that had appeared there at the beginning of his beast quest in Tavania. He'd already liberated 5 beasts and sent them back to their rightful places, but there was one left to face. Was he ready for this final challenge? Tom unfolded the golden panels of the map to reveal the jeweled mosaic inside. The glittering pieces of jade, crystal and quartz shifted as he gazed at them, and a glowing amber path led down from the mountains and across a plain. Shining words, the frozen fields, appeared across the flat expanse. That must be where we'll find the beast, Elena said, peering over Tom's shoulder. There's a lake, too, Tom added. The path is leading towards it. That's the way we have to go. I just wish I had a lovely warm fur coat like Silver, Elena said, shivering. We could die of cold out here. The grey wolf gave a sympathetic yelp, while Tom's black stallion, Storm, snorted out a long breath and shook his bridle. We'll be warmer when we're moving, Tom said, giving Storm's glossy neck a pat. And I promise we'll find some warmer clothes as soon as we can. Surely someone will be in need of a few gold coins. When Elena had wrapped up the remains of their meal and stowed the bundle away in the saddlebag, Tom put away the map and mounted Storm. Elena scrambled up behind him, with Silver padding alongside. They set off through the bleak landscape. Their path led them through the foothills of the Rocky Mountains and down onto the frozen fields. The track they had been following disappeared under a flat, white blanket of snow that covered everything. There's nothing to show us where we're supposed to go, Tom said. He cast a glance up at the sky. And look how dark it's getting. The whole dome of the sky was black, as if night was falling, or a massive storm was about to break. I don't understand it, Tom continued. Tavania isn't like Caonia, where the days were short. Maybe we've been traveling so long that we've lost track of time, Elena suggested. A crackle of lightning fizzed across the horizon. Tom suddenly realized what was making everything so dark. That's not nightfall, it's a portal, he exclaimed. Elena clutched at him. I've never seen one as big as that. It's covering the whole sky. I feel as though it's my fault, Tom went on, as he stared upwards. My coming here tore open these portals, and then Malvel used them to drag beasts from their rightful homes and sent them where they don't belong. That's ridiculous, Elena protested. Without you, there would be no hope for Tavania under Malvel's rule. You're about to face the very last beast and send it home. Tom was grateful, but he felt a swell of fear in his chest. As he gazed at the rip above his head, it stretched from horizon to horizon, and beyond its ragged edges was black nothingness. Who knows what damage that could do to Tavania, he murmured, more determined than ever to find the beast quickly. Tom urged Storm into a trot, with Silver loping alongside. Nothing could be seen on the flat plain except for a snow-covered hump. As they drew closer, Tom realized it was a small ice hut. Who would live out here? Elena asked in surprise. I don't know, Tom replied, but we might be able to barter with them for furs. He guided Storm over to the hut and dismounted. Elena slid down after him. As they approached the door, Storm began trotting in circles, and Silver bounded after him. That's right, boy, Tom laughed. That way you'll keep warm. Tom walked up to the door and knocked, but there was no answer. Exchanging a glance with Elena, he knocked again, but there was still no response from inside the hut. There's no one here, Elena said, disappointed. Tom gave the door a push, and to his surprise it swung open. He stepped inside, glancing round warily. Hello? He called. Is anyone at home? The hut was a single small room. Footprints covered the floor, but a layer of dust over them showed that the hut's owner hadn't been there for some time. Bundles of furs and dried fish were hanging from the ceiling. The only furniture was a bed covered with furs, a small table, and a couple of rickety stools. Thrown across the stools were 2 long fur coats. That's exactly what we need, Elena pointed out as she followed Tom into the hut. But we can't just take them, can we? I don't like it, but I think we have to, Tom replied. If we freeze to death out here, there'll be no one to defeat the beast. Malvel will have won, Elena nodded. You're right. We can leave some of the gold coins we brought from Guilda. Tom pulled out some of the coins and set them down on the table. Then he and Elena each put on one of the coats. The bottoms brushed the floor, and the long sleeves covered their hands, so they had to roll them back. As Tom pulled the heavy folds around him, his hand slipped into a pocket, and his fingers closed round a leather pouch. Pulling it out, he saw that it was an empty glasses case. "It's lovely and warm," Elena exclaimed, wrapping the fur tightly around herself. "I feel better already, Bo." As he turned to leave, Tom spotted a fishing spear leaning against the wall. It was rusty, but when he felt the point, it was sharp. "I'll take this, too," he said, hooking it over one shoulder by its leather strap. "It may come in useful later." "Just in case," Elena agreed. Tom and Elena stepped outside the hut again and closed the door behind them. The biting cold nipped at their noses, and their breath made clouds in the freezing air, but the furs protected them. Tom felt more confident as he called to Storm. "This is the end of the quest," he remarked. "We've one more beast to find, and then we can attack the castle. Malvel had better watch out." Elena headed away from the hut to meet Silver, who was bounding towards her. Suddenly she stopped. "Tom, come and look at this," she exclaimed. When Tom joined her, he saw a set of wide, deep paw prints in the snow, as if a large animal had passed by. On either side of the track were rows of smaller marks. "What sort of creature could have made that?" Elena asked. "We've never seen anything like it on a quest before. It's got so many feet, and they are not all the same size." "It must be the beast," Tom replied, stooping down to examine the marks as Silver padded up to give them a suspicious sniff. "We'll have to be on our guard, and smart." He straightened up and gazed out across the empty snowfield. "Who knows what's out there?" Adam Blade, Beast, Quest, The Lost World, Carnivora, The Winged Scavenger, Prologue, Contents, Chapter 1 Journey Through the Ice, Chapter 2 The Frozen Lake, Chapter 3 The Final Portal, Chapter 4 Battle Against the Beast, Chapter 5 Many Friends, Chapter 6 Attack on the Castle, Chapter 7 Unexpected Help, Chapter 8 Facing Malvel, Chapter 9 Through the Portal, Chapter 10 Home to Avansha. If you liked this, you'll love Prologue. Tobias narrowed his eyes against the icy wind as he